Hello friends and welcome to another Star Wars video. This is Thaddeus from Going Nerdy, and today we are going to be talking about the new book Phasma. I'm going to be saying whether or not it is good, whether or not you should buy it, and whether or not you should look into reading it. Now, right off the bat, if all you are interested in is whether or not it is good, valuable, or a scale, I would give it 7 out of 10 Stormtrooper helmets, Crumb helmets. Now, my reasoning for that, or my backing for that, is I'm comparing the book to itself, and then I'm also comparing it to the other Star Wars novels in canon, right? Both new and old. Now, in and of itself, by itself, I'd probably give it maybe an 8, maybe even a 7.5. It's a solid book. It's a good story. It's interesting. It mixes a lot of different genres. It's a postmodern, post-apocalyptic world, struggling to survive. I've heard it referred to as like a Mad Max meets Star Wars, and that's pretty accurate. That's pretty accurate. It gives us a lot of backstory for Phasma and explains kind of who she is as a character, and that is very interesting. Now, there's a few things that I didn't necessarily like about it. There's the story itself is being told as a story within the story, and so that got a little confusing from time to time because the narrator is a character telling the story, and her voice comes out without notice and without warning sometimes. So like in the middle of like a backstory, in the middle of her telling the story, she'll talk about first person things in the moment, and that threw me a little bit. It didn't happen very often, but it was enough to kind of pull me out of the story. But one of the things that but overall, like I said, it was solid. It was good. This was my first book that I've ever read from Delia Dawson, and she is a science fiction writer. She's written a number of other books before, and this, obviously you don't get into writing Star Wars without having your own canon to bring to the table, and she's got it. And so I liked it. I would say readability or rereadability probably on the lower side. It is a really solid book. It is a really interesting story, and I thought that it was really well done. Right? Now, all Star Wars novels are fun, but in my mind, the best way to consume a Star Wars story is via either film, TV, or audible or audiobook. I love audiobooks. They take a little bit longer to read because you can't read at your own pace. You're reading at the pace of the narrator, or you're listening to the story at the pace of the narrator. But the narration for all Star Wars audiobooks are really fun. I do know that some people struggle with them because you have some background noise, some ambient noise going on wherever the situation is. So if they're on Coruscant, it is bustling people. It is, speeders going overhead, and that can be distracting to some people. I like it. I think it adds a whole new level of a whole new degree of entertainment to the story for me. I thought it was really well done. The story itself tells the background of Captain Phasma, and it answers a few questions: where she's from, how she got to the First Order, and who she is as a person. Now, Phasma, there's not a lot that we can really go off of in the book or in the movie, right? Phasma is this murderous clone trooper. She has a connection to Hux. She and Kylo Ren apparently know each other, but that seems like it might be the only thing. But it's really an interesting to see what we get more of her, right? More of what makes her tick. And if you like Phasma, then this is definitely a book that you need to read. It's definitely something that you need to check out. It goes through kind of her childhood. I mean, it gives us some brief moments of her childhood. That's not the focus. But it takes her all the way through the First Order, right? And probably up, I think it was like 5 years before the events of Episode 7. But it's definitely an interesting story. And it does shed some light onto, or as to, why she let the shield generator down. And is she a trustworthy character? Is Phasma someone that will, say First Order or bust forever, Or do her loyalties lie somewhere else? Now, it's definitely interesting, and I say check it out. Like I said, I give it 7 out of 10 chrome helmets. But if you want to skip the book altogether, then I suggest going to Wikipedia and just reading the synopsis of the book. They do a pretty good job as to the flow of the events and summarizing what goes on. But if you really want to get a handle on who she is as a person, as a First Order officer, as a captain, if you want to figure out more about her, and I think reading the book is a good idea. So with that, I'm going to take off, and I'm going to say, if you would like to read the book and don't want to pay for it, try a free Audible subscription in the link below. I'll leave a clip for you, or a link for you. You could try it for 30 days, cancel it, you get 1 free book. That can be Phasma, that can be any book you want. It doesn't matter. But it's 30 days, it's free. Just cancel within 30 days, and you're good. Give it a shot. Anytime you subscribe, you actually help out the channel, and I appreciate that. It gives me more time and helps me make these videos more often. So leave a comment in the section below. I will do more of these videos in the future. This has been Thaddeus from Going Nerdy, and as always, stay nerdy, my friends.